Lucasfilm, Bethesda, and Machine Games are making this up as they go. The Mario celebrations continue with a new game and a new Switch. And from CES, classic arcades and kick-ass gaming laptops. All that and the latest and everything cool today in the Rundown. Welcome to the show, everybody. It looks like I picked the perfect week to restart the Rundown. I'm so excited about the news today. Hey, and thank you very much to D9000 for complimenting me on my editing yesterday. Now, come with me on a great adventure. You know what the first story had to be today? A new Indiana Jones game is headed our way. Lucasfilm and Bethesda are partnering, and Todd Howard is going to executive produce a brand new indie game that is being made by Machine Games, who have been doing a fantastic job killing all kinds of Nazis with their Wolfenstein titles over the last several years. So I'm very excited to see what this collective is able to do with a brand new Indiana Jones adventure. And I'll tell you something about Todd Howard. I've known him for years. We worked on the making of Fallout 3 together and the making of Fallout New Vegas. Todd Howard is one of the biggest fans of Indiana Jones that I know in the video game industry, except for maybe Amy Hennig and a good buddy of mine, the art director of Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, Bob Donatucci. Those three people love Indy so much. So I am incredibly excited that Todd Howard is going to oversee a brand new Indy experience for us. What I want out of the game, I want it to be third person. I don't want it to be a first person adventure. I want to see the character. I'd like Harrison Ford to voice at least some of it. Maybe he's got some bookend stuff in there, but it would be great to have the Indiana Jones voice this thing. I want it to be massive, and I want it to be the beginning of something, right? This is a series based on serialized adventure, so I don't want this to be like the capo or the end of Indiana Jones. I want it to be the beginning of something. This is a character that has been referenced so much across video games. Tomb Raider and Uncharted and many, many other games have been influenced by the Indy adventures, just like Indy was influenced by the old classic movie serials. So I want this done right and in Todd Howard's hands, and with the pedigree of the developers and the people involved in this, I have no doubt that it will be. And you know what? Part and parcel with the announcement of this new Indiana Jones game is the fact that Lucasfilm Games is revitalized. It's back. The brand is back. They put out a teaser yesterday showing off all of the different projects that they've currently got out in the marketplace right now. But Lucasfilm Games is clearly working on some big stuff. They totally understand the value of their properties. The Mandalorian is killing it, and all of the new announcements for Disney Plus and the new features that are coming our way. So clearly, Lucasfilm Games is drumming up some ideas for what we're going to be playing, and I, for one, cannot freaking wait for this new Indiana Jones experience. Now, in addition to this great indie news that we got today, we also got a fantastic new trailer for a new Mario adventure. Well, it's not entirely brand new. Super Mario 3D World was a Wii U game that's being ported to the Nintendo Switch, but what we got today is a nice big chunk of Bowser's Fury gameplay. This is the side game that's coming alongside Super Mario 3D World, and it looks quite robust. It looks very fun. It looks like it's focused heavily on Cat Mario, which is totally cool with me. In fact, one of my favorite sequences in this trailer is when Cat Mario is befriending a bunch of other cats, and they seem to be having a pretty good time. But then suddenly in the middle of this trailer, which is all kind of cutesy and a little bit predictable because, you know, we know what we can expect out of a Mario adventure. Great level design and beautiful art and sort of, you know, happy-go-lucky type music. In the middle of all that, we get a ginormous Bowser that looks like something out of a God of War game, and that gets very dark and the storm is raging. And then what does Mario have to do? Cat Mario has to become Mega Cat Mario, and that's a very cool little sequence that we got in there. We also get to see Mario jet skiing on a dinosaur, and there's all kinds of cool costume transformations. I think this is going to be a blast. It was an excellent game when I played it on the Wii U, so I'm very much looking forward to revisiting Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. It comes out on February 12th, and in addition to the release of this new trailer and the taste of what we can expect out of the game, Nintendo also released that they're going to have a new red and blue edition of the Nintendo Switch Switch, coming out on February 12th as well. And it comes with a special Mario-themed carrying case as part of the deal. And what's fascinating for me is that this new Switch and this new Mario game is coming out right around my birthday time. So I don't know, if you're looking for a gift for me for my birthday, there's some pretty good ideas right there. All right, we know that CES 2021 is still rocking this week, and we've got some killer classic arcade games and some kick-ass gaming laptops to talk about. For the last several years, Arcade 1UP has been at CES announcing new arcade cabinets, and this year is no exception, even if it is a virtual CES this year. They announced a bunch of new arcade cabinets for the year, but one that has me very excited is this new Atari-themed Tempest arcade cabinet. Tempest is one of my favorite classic arcade titles, vector-based, shooting down the web. It's such a fun game. But there's also a bunch of other titles, as they always do in their arcade cabinets. Asteroids, Centipede, Missile Command, Major Havoc, and several others. There's 12 in total, which makes this one very, very enticing, especially if you're a Tempest diehard like I am. Arcade 1UP is also going to be releasing cabinets for Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, and Killer Instinct. But the one that has my full attention is the new X-Men arcade cabinet based on the 1992 Konami game, an awesome brawler. It's a 4-player cabinet, and you can play with buds and beat up all kinds of robots and bad guys, and it looks just incredible. I love all of the artwork and the detail on it. And it also comes with Captain America and the Avengers, the arcade version of that, and another game that I've never seen before. It's called Avengers in Galactic Storm, which is supposed to be more of a fighting game. That one looks super cool, and now they've got a bunch of these Marvel Arcade 1UP machines out there. And did I mention my birthday's coming up? Okay, we have some big news in the gaming laptop department as well. Both NVIDIA and AMD continue to kind of go head to head. I don't know if it's quite a war out there, but they're certainly trying to vie for gamers' attention with the products that they're putting out and the partnerships that they're putting out. NVIDIA has announced that their Ampere architecture is going into laptops with advanced ray tracing cores and DLSS tech in their new 30 series graphics processors. And AMD is bringing out their AMD Ryzen 5000 series processors, promising to provide awesome battery life and performance. All of that news is pretty cool, but when you consider what NVIDIA, AMD, and also Intel are working on, they're really trying to make laptops super friendly for gamers out there. So there's going to be very little compromise when we take our awesome PC games and go portable with them. That's super exciting. In fact, it's been a lot of exciting stuff in the gaming world today. In Hollywood, I've got a departure and a delay to tell you about. First up, the delay. Jared Leto's Morbius is being pushed back to October, and presumably that's Sony trying to figure out, when theaters are really going to be open, and I guess they're probably trying to get ahead of what we can expect from closures through the spring and summer, because, obviously we're still trying to grapple with this pandemic out there. But what's interesting is now Morbius is going to be very close to the launch date of the new Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, and I am really, really fascinated by what is going on in the Sony Spider-Verse. I have high hopes for this Morbius flick. I hope it's good. And as for the departure I want to talk about, Lucasfilm has had lots of good news in the gaming department today, but over on their Willow series that they're making for Disney+, director John M. Chu has had to leave the project. He's got a new baby coming up, and his scheduling is just not working out. So he wrote up a big Twitter post, and Deadline picked up on it, and I'm sure lots of other publications out there picked up on it. But that's unfortunate. He's a very good director. I quite enjoyed his work on Crazy Rich Asians. I wasn't the hugest Willow fan when that movie came out originally, but it had lots of really fun stuff in it. So I really hope that this series comes together well, and that Disney is able to find the right person or people to kind of carry that torch and make Willow awesome. I hope it's a great show. And one last little bit of news for you, and this is coming from the fine folks at Respawn and Electronic Arts and at Lucasfilm Games again. Jedi Fallen Order has been given upgrades for all of us next-gen console owners out there. So if you play it on the Xbox Series S, X, or the PlayStation 5, you're going to see some pretty big improvements. Frame rate goes up to 60 frames per second, and there are fidelity and resolution increases. So I can't wait to dive back into that game. It's one of my favorite Star Wars games ever. And kudos to everybody at Respawn for making that happen. I also want to remind you guys to enter our WandaVision Disney Plus contest on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Electric Playground. Thank you to all of the supporters out there, the longtime supporters, longtime EPN members, and all of the new subscribers that are just signing up. You guys all rock. We will see you tomorrow, and until then, play forever.